That was a mighty slap there on
the mighty slap.
Aggressive.
Yeah. So, how's it going, everyone? Look at us. We're back again.
We're back again.
Holy
Maybe
crap.
back.
So this is going to be a special episode because we don't know exactly where it's going to be in the lineup. But I can tell you this. It's coming out before the end of Halloween.
Well, that's true.
Better.
We really don't know.
You know, we don't know
6
where.
or 7.
Am I going to be Josh to editing? You know,
it's an editing.
it's an editing race. It's going to be great. So anyways, you're probably thinking, what the heck is this episode about? And I'll tell you right now what it's about. And that is vampires and the Lost Boys mostly, but also vampires. So here's my thoughts on vampires. You know, there's like, you think of Halloween, and of course you think, you know, slashers like Jason and Freddy and scary guys, ghosts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, vampires are some of the OGs, you know?
Yeah.
They've been talking about vampires for a long time.
We still don't know if they're real or not.
Yeah, we don't. We're the science is out, you know, and they just don't know. They haven't gathered enough information. It is a fact that they used to be so spooked by vampires that they would literally impale them into their coffins. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just the fact of life.
yeah, that's how the whole nailing old Count Dracula with a wooden stake. That's how that came to fruition, because that's what they did to the corpses so they wouldn't crawl out. And well, you
I
know,
thought that came from Vlad the Impaler or something like that.
no.
Yeah.
So Vlad Dracul.
Ivan Dracul.
Hello, my name is Vlad Dracul. Anyways, that guy, he was known for, well, he's called Vlad the Impaler because he'd impale people on spikes.
Yeah.
And like, so he was a really good leader, and people would always attack like his castle and stuff, and he kept winning over and over. And he got so pissed off at people that kept attacking him that he wanted to make a point out of not coming there anymore. So he got all the people that he captured and impaled them and just left them hanging up in the air alive with, you know, spikes driven through
if
them.
I saw that, if I came up on a castle, saw that, I'd be like, let's turn it around, guys. We're going back.
Time to rethink our inks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so and they say he would drink blood and stuff, you know. Who really knows?
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I'm sure once you do stuff like that, rumors start flying,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
3 generations later, it changes
exactly.
too.
Right. I don't believe it unless I see it on film personally, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I ain't seen no Dracula on no video yet, you know.
Nosferatu. That was like real life footage.
It looked
I
like
mean,
it was.
it did. It looked as believable as that Sasquatch they saw down there.
That was the creepiest Dracula probably I've ever seen on a movie.
Which one? Oh, the original Nosferatu.
Yeah.
To this day, I still think that the OG one, like, I don't know if it's the black and white that just sold it, or like just that guy's gangly old face, and like, I don't know, the props. That was the scariest vampire that was out there.
Yeah.
No doubt. That guy was the best one.
Yeah.
Like long
remake.
fingers, like.
The remake was just as bad. I mean, just as crazy looking. He had the super long finger with the nails that curled
Yeah,
over
that's
like
what
this.
makes it so creepy. Those
Yeah,
nails,
it's like
they had an extra
the
digit.
fingers, the way he kind of holds his hands and
Yeah.
stuff.
I just watched Bram Stoker's
Oh yeah.
Stoker. It's not
Stoker.
Stroker.
That's
That's something else. That's someone
that was
else.
a different one.
That was a B movie.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 92 one, because there's been many. Bram Stoker, the original creator, of course. But I watched the 92 one with Keanu Reeves, and I mean, there's quite a few stars. And there's Keanu Reeves,
Gary
Oldman. Yep, he's in it. Who else? I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyways, a lot of really good actors in it, and I really liked what they did, like with the shadow play. So like Dracula would be talking to him and stuff. You know, he'd just be like talking to Keanu Reeves' character, and like in the like he'd talk like how he wanted to get his girlfriend and stuff, and like all of a sudden like his shadow would be like strangling like Keanu Reeves, but in the shadow, so nothing happened in real life. Of course, Keanu Reeves doesn't see any of this happening, and yeah, it's really cool. Like just a little different effects, that like practical effects that they did.
Yeah.
It is before the digital age was really upon us, you know.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It was more believable, more real for me. It caught me, you know. I enjoyed it. But we're here to start with, I think, the Lost Boys. We've seen it numerous times, all of us.
Yeah.
It's the like classic vampire movie, like for like our generation. I think it's like that was the big one, you know.
I think that was really just that group of kids,
Yep.
you know, and wearing their leather jackets, kind of like the bad
cool,
the bad boys.
Yeah, late 80s look with the long hair. The rock star long hair.
I think they just looked so cool at that, at
that time.
Yeah, in that time. They still do, I think.
Yeah.
I love it.
So obviously,
I love that movie.
There was some classic actors in there. You had
the Coreys.
Yeah, both the Coreys, Feldman and Haim. You had Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh yeah. David.
Ted Winters from Bill and Ted's.
Yes.
I mean, just so many crazy, awesome, like popular characters.
And I think they all did so good. I mean,
yeah.
Even their mom was good.
Yeah,
their
she
grandpa
played a really good,
was hilarious.
The grandpa was one of the best like sub characters.
So many great jokes.
Yeah, like believable, but also
yeah,
like it just acted well, and everything about it, like the scene, like the cinematography. Right. Now I wonder, because obviously in today's day and age, we have drones, so we can fly drones to get really cool footage and stuff. I was wondering how they did some of the effects back then, like
the POV vampire.
Yeah, the POV vampire flying and stuff.
That's a good question.
Because I mean, they did some pretty cool stuff. It wasn't nearly as good as what we do today, but back then, I mean, you don't see that effect too much, Or like you take the POV of a vampire like flying through.
Yeah, it was pretty high up, and it was coming right down to that car in like the beginning in the parking lot. I mean, like it was pretty high up. It was coming in. They cut it a few times, so they might have used different things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard they ran out of, well, as movies do, they didn't get the budget they wanted, so they had to do all that stuff after the fact because they couldn't show the vampires flying because they ran out of money with all the wire work and stuff.
That's probably a good thing because
it
probably would have made it kind of.
And I just can't believe, like, so I was just looking it up while you guys were talking about that, and I've heard that what they did was, since they're running out of so little money, they just strapped the camera to a seagull and hope for the best.
Pulled it off pretty good.
I had a feeling you were going to say something weird.
I think it came out pretty well,
yeah,
pretty good.
Did. Those seagulls, man.
And a lot of them there.
Fun fact about the movie. The director who made the Goonies, Richard Donner.
He was originally signed up for it.
The original director, right? But he got replaced by Joel Schumacher, and that's when like the whole story took on a whole new.
They actually aged him because Donner wanted them to be younger. He wanted to be like a Goonies.
13, 14-year-olds and stuff.
You know what they say about the Donner Party?
What do they say?
The Donner Party? Aren't those ones who like ate?
Yeah, the cannibals. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with that.
No, that was the end of that.
Oh, okay. I guess we still don't know what they say. But
yeah, we still don't know.
They say something for sure. Yeah. So it was filmed in Santa Cruz, California, and
not Santa Carla. What a scam, man!
Yeah.
You guys ever been to Santa Carla?
I have not. Apparently, so it's a fake town. It doesn't exist.
It's the murder capital of the world. That's why.
And the reason that's actually the reason they switched it is because Santa Cruz gave them permission to film there, but said it can't be called the murder capital of the world, or you can't call it Santa Cruz, because at the time Santa Cruz was really up there in murders too. So they're like, they don't want to get that attached to them. But I
like the name Santa Carla.
It's pretty good.
It's believable.
It's a believable California name.
It is, for sure.
Like I that's one of the reasons I looked it up, because I knew, like, I was like, does that city really exist? Is there a Santa Carla?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I heard about that a long time ago.
And the one thing that I can't stand about Santa Carla, and that's all the damn vampires. Oh man, so we got some facts on it, right? We watched it. Great movie. Every bit of it's pretty good.
One thing I didn't like about it, though.
Tell me.
And I'll tell you this: I love that movie. I really do. I love all the actors in it. I think that.
Okay. You're saying it's not perfect.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not saying that. Well, yeah, kind of.
You are kind of saying that.
I'm kind of saying that. Well, let me say one thing that I don't like about it, and that's the glittery blood in the end.
Oh, that was weird.
It's just weird.
Blood.
Yeah.
When they stabbed that, they snuck in there when the vampires were sleeping. And toward the end, they were hanging from their feet, and the Frog Brothers went up there and stabbed at the guy Bill from Bill and Ted's, stabbed him. And all that blood went everywhere, sprayed all over everybody.
Exploded,
and they had this glittery blood. And you see it even when they're in the car driving away.
That's what I noticed. So I never put two and two together, but I thought it was a movie mistake, because when they walked in the house next and he had a bunch of glitter like on his shoulders and his hair, I thought to myself, why has he got glitter all over? And then I noticed the girl had like a glittery skirt on. And I was thinking, oh, maybe there's like a scene they cut where he is holding her for some reason or something like that. Could have been
at a strip club or something.
Or something, yeah. Or maybe they, they stopped over, because it it is Santa Carla. I figured they might stop by like a fiesta or a siesta.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of
glitter party.
glitter party, or maybe like
pinatas.
Pinatas are bashing, and I know it's happened to me. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah.
A roadside pinata party.
So I didn't like that. I thought that was too weird. Glittery blood. I mean, come on.
And they took that
was
and
kinda
ran when it came to
stupid.
Twilight. Let's talk about other vampire movies.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Are we switching to Twilight?
We're
we
downshifting here. We're going to Twilight
man.
because
Before we move off of that, though, I want to say that the girl in that star, I always had like a
big time crush.
Wow.
I always thought she was so hot.
Oh, she's pretty hot. She's
Well
pretty
cast.
Star. I always thought maybe it was the looks she gave, the look, her style. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but she got me.
She was a
hooked.
pretty good actress too. I think she
She
played
did
her part well.
Yeah, all around.
Joel Schumacher didn't want her in the movie, actually.
What?
He wanted a blonde
Yeah,
chick,
he
right?
wanted Meg Ryan or something
Yeah.
like that.
that guy, man. Get this.
Well, that's why they made him take a back seat.
Yeah. good.
The male lead, Michael, whatever the actor's name, he pulled her in because they worked on a movie together before that, the Alien movie.
I'm a new
name of
fan
it.
of Michael. Good.
Yeah.
So
He has good choice.
Don't know
Good
yeah, I
taste
like
in
that. That
women.
was good.
Yeah, for sure. I think she played excellent.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
And looked excellent.
it looked excellent. I agree, especially for an '80s chick. Usually, the '80s look
Yeah,
chicks I do
right.
not dig.
I don't dig 80s
like that
girls
big
either.
hair and stuff. I do not like big
It's just
hair.
dorky.
It's like I get like how the guys have that cool look and stuff with their
It's rare to
permed
find
hairs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ears,
a good-looking 80s girl.
Right? Yeah, but the
And
'80s
honestly,
girls
yes.
are just.
No, it wasn't a good time
That
for
was-
girls.
But she was. Yeah, I agree. Her
Yeah,
hair just
she
wasn't
had
puffed
it.
up too much.
No.
She wasn't wearing big puffy outfits all the time. Kind of,
Yeah.
totally '80s still, but
Right.
passable. Passable. You can see
Yeah.
she's leaning towards the '90s, living in that wild, wild west.
Mhm.
Let's talk
Absolutely. All right,
about the Twilight.
Yeah, let's get on to Twilight.
All right,
Even
so-
though I don't even want to talk about Twilight.
Right.
We're
I
going-
know.
Before
why'd
before
you-
we jump all right, let's just do this. So before
Yeah.
we jump into Twilight and other vampire movies, out of a rating of 5, right?
No,
5
what
being
is
the strongest, 0 being the weakest.
Okay, yeah.
Let's give a quick review and see what we think.
Yep.
Where does it stand? The test of time with the Lost Boys. And another fact about Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I thought I was so unique and clever because I was thinking, I was like, I'm going to make a joke about, how like it's the Lost Boys like Peter Pan. But turns out that is actually what the title's from, Peter Pan. Like the Lost Boys from Peter Pan,
Mhm,
because,
yeah.
I was going to make a little joke about that, but I was like,
Let's get into it.
obviously.
What's the
well, there
joke?
is no joke. It ended. I put the
I'm
kibosh
just
to it.
kidding.
There's no good joke. It's as good as what they say about the vampires.
Exactly.
I like that
We're
whole.
killing these jokes today.
I like that whole twist on like the mythology of what was it, Hook, where the Lost Boys came from. I don't know. I like that whole spin on it.
Yeah.
But there was no Hook.
There was
He was the vampire.
Hook.
I mean, he wasn't in Lost Boys.
I thought I thought that was Max. Never mind.
Max wasn't Hook. No,
He
he was
wasn't?
just a vampire. Oh shoot! Spoiler alerts.
Oh,
Spoiled
no.
it for you. I do like how they played like him off, like especially when he drank the holy water and stuff, and like he wasn't affected.
Yeah.
I thought it was lame that he wasn't affected just because he had permission to be there.
Yeah.
That was kind of dumb.
kinda, like,
I feel like
deletes
if you're a
their
vampire,
Power.
look, I've been hunting vampires for a long time, and I can tell you if you splash them with holy water, something's going to happen.
Yeah. That's
It's
a big
literally happened to every vampire I've thrown them at.
one. Yeah. I mean, it's up for debate. What gets deleted when you come in there, when you're invited into a home? I mean,
Right. The garlic and stuff. I feel like there's more
you lose your
reasons.
power. I mean, all power? I mean,
Yeah.
come on now.
How are you supposed to die then? Like, well, I guess you can still ram them with a truck and
Apparently.
throw a 2x4 through your chest. But
Yeah.
anyways, all right. So we'll start with you.
What were we talking about Twilight? Would we get into
Oh,
that?
we're not getting into that
Okay,
yet.
thank
We're-
goodness, man.
Yeah, that's a
Skip
joke.
that
Everyone
joke.
knows that's a joke. We're just doing that
I
to
hope
get
that
into
was the joke.
Yeah, that is a joke. So we're just trying to use the algorithm in YouTube to get us up.
Oh, okay.
If you
yeah.
say Twilight
Throw it out
enough,
there. Oh,
yeah, you might hit a certain crowd.
Yep.
So all right. So the review for
Yeah.
Lost Boys. What do you think?
Whew, I'll tell you this. It rates all super, super high for me. It really does. That's a movie. I could watch it again tonight. I mean, I love that movie.
I almost did watch it
The
twice in a row.
soundtrack was so good.
Yeah, I love the soundtrack.
It's good.
Even though they repeat the same song over and over,
yeah, like 3
That's
times.
okay.
Yeah.
it's really fits the movie.
I listened to it on the way home last night.
Yeah.
They switched from the Doors song "People Are Strange."
That's-
They do that twice.
Which is also a great song for that
Yeah.
movie.
You gotta be careful with
Anyway,
that. We're gonna.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. So for me personally, 4.7.
That's
Woo!
wow. That's up there.
It's almost like it couldn't have been better, but it could have been in just like
Just
tiny,
in
tiny
minor,
ways.
yeah, extremely minor ways.
Minor ways.
All right. What about you?
I'm gonna go 4.25 stars.
Yeah.
4.2.
Yeah. Mostly because I like the whole stylistic choices that the vampire stuff they wanted to keep in, keeping with the vampire mythology and the stuff that they didn't keep in. I thought it was pretty tasteful. It was, every scene was fun. The characters were like awesome, sexy young cast and all that. The music was great. Like him, I could watch it again tonight. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say for me, I'm going to give it I'm stuck between a 4.5 or 4.6. It's right on the cusp of being. I'll just give it the nod just because it's a classic. We're going to go with 4.6.
I like it.
Because again, was it a perfect movie? Did it change like everything in the terms of vampires? No. Did it make you think like really like about anything? Not really. It's just a fun adventure. It's a lot like the Goonies, where I see where they're going with that whole idea. Obviously, it's a grown-up version of the Goonies. Some things I could have done a little less. Like one thing I didn't like a bunch was like the addition of the little kid laddie. Don't understand why he was trying to turn him into a vampire. They never really go out on that, they never explain that.
Pedo.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's one of the pedo vampires because kids don't grow. Like once you get bit, you're stuck at that age.
Wait, who produced it? Was it Harvey?
Oh, no, this guy is trying to get us canceled.
Oh no!
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go 4.6. We'll end it that there. Great movie. Yep. I would absolutely recommend it. You recommend it clearly. You'd recommend it
highly.
Right. Highly recommended. It's probably one of the best vampire movies.
It's a must-see for anybody who ever wants to see a vampire movie.
And any season, too,
Great
really.
80s movie.
And you can see that, it's kind of graphic, but you
the
can
worst
see it pretty
part,
young.
Yeah, the worst part's the bonfire scene.
I showed it to my
kids. Which they toned down, actually.
I think like about 6 months old. I think that's what the cutoff. That's when I started showing it to them, about 6 months old.
When they were 6 months old.
Yeah.
You want to give them,
give
them some time.
I didn't do that, but anyway.
Kiefer Sutherland said that scene was way more gory in the original cut. That they told him to chew off the back of a guy's head and pretend like he was getting a birthday cake.
Yeah, like eating birthday cake. Yeah, which is the craziest thing because the guy was still alive. That wasn't a prop.
Yeah,
he actually did it.
Yeah.
And it's just like
crazy.
Man, method actor, I guess.
I guess so.
Feel sorry for the poor stand-in that got mauled.
That was definitely the most graphic scene of that movie.
Yeah.
When they were attacking those people by the fire.
Start shredding them.
Everything
else, they just kind of disappear. They'd always do that stupid, like, oh, and then like the camera like fall behind, and all of a sudden the guy gets whisked off into the air.
Exactly. A lot of people are getting pulled
no
up
blood,
into the air. You don't see anything.
That one in the house, though, when the sinks were like spitting out blood and stuff, that was pretty... It was like a lot of blood.
It was actually one of those scenes where it was like
just too over the top.
Over the top, and I don't know. I think they
why'd
went
that
too far
happen?
with it.
Yeah, why'd that happen?
Okay, this guy, he's in the tub or whatever, and he dies, and all of a sudden things start blowing off the wall,
and the kitchen gets soaked in gore, and it's
it's
just kind of weird.
Yeah, they went a little too far with that.
Anyways, all right, so back to Twilight.
That was one of the points they lost for me. They lost a point for the
one point for the kitchen, and one for the kitchen. So that movie did push the envelope though when it came to the new vampire movies. Like I said, Bram Stoker's Dracula came out in 1992. That was after, and that really opened the door to different ideas on vampires. Now, one thing that we were discussing before we got into what the topic would even be today was like, what are we going to talk about with vampires? Is it just going to be Count Dracula, or is it going to be vampires? And we settled on kind of a mishmash of everything.
What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on each of those?
Well, I guess my thoughts are, so I like the idea that there's not just one head vampire, because you can only do so much with that. Then it's the same story over and over.
Yep.
Oh, it's Count Dracula, and he came from a castle, and he talks like he's, playing, I don't know, what sport do they play over there? Has to be ice hockey, right? No?
I don't know.
Soccer. I'm sure it's probably soccer. All those Europeans are playing soccer.
Football.
Yes. My name is Vladimir Piller. I play the football. It
sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Anyways, so I like the idea that they opened the door to more ideas of vampires. They're not the only ones. There's also movies like Fright Night, and that's one of my favorites. I love Fright Night. I think it's a great movie. And again, I give Fright Night some props because just like any good horror movie, right at the very beginning, they just rip open a shirt and there's a boob right there, and that's pretty cool,
Proper 80s movie.
Yeah, proper 80s movie. Proper 80s horror. There has to just be a boob out instantly, and then after that, the movie can just take place. They just dotting all their eyes. I wonder
if that's like a standard formula that a lot of
seems like it was
filmmakers follow.
I think it was like they have a list. Yeah.
Check.
Yep. Like slutty chick in the pool, check. You know, gets axe murdered. Like she has to be third or something, so she gets just enough screen time to make it interesting, so you can put her into the previews.
I also think if they do that early enough in the movie, they hook people. You know?
Oh yeah.
That's why they always try to move it in the beginning.
All right, you got my attention.
Is there more of this? Oh, is there more of this?
One thing I've always hated about.
Are you sure about?
Are you sure about that? One thing I've always hated about certain horror movies is every now and then they'll kill the hot chick. You know, the girl that I think is the hottest or whatever.
No.
That always rubs in. Then it just ruins the movie for me.
That's another plus for Lost Boys.
Yeah, they didn't murder the hot
didn't
chick.
kill
Yeah,
her.
they thought about it, but you know they let it go through. And
Nope.
Speaking of hot chicks,
yeah.
one of the sequel ideas that Joel Schumacher wanted to go with was an all-female cast.
Oh my god.
Tara Reid, the girls from the Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name?
That was going to be the cast.
No way.
That's too dumb.
Too far.
That was
Yeah.
going to be
Too
like
far.
the blockbuster, you know, the big budget.
So
remake.
here's my issue with that. And it's always, I always hate it. Like when they, like for example, when they did Ocean's 8. What a fart fest that was with all chicks.
All of those
I
things
don't
are like,
care.
here's your audience, and hey, let's take that
A slice of it. Yep.
Let's just move it down
And
to
hope,
like,
yeah, it's kind of like what Barbie did, but Barbie at least had millions of fans already. You know, there's already millions of girls all over that love Barbie and always have for, 60, 70 years. So they have an audience.
Yeah.
But I just cannot stand, like, for example, in the, you would know this, but in the Infinity War, Marvel, the Avengers, there's a scene where they just show all the girls like running the thing, the gauntlet, and passing it off to each other. And there's a part where all the girls are just posing, like it's so flippin' dumb. It's very dumb. Okay, sorry for the kids in the audience there, but it takes you out of the movie. I have no problem if there's like a really well written girls or whatever.
Yeah.
But write the girls correctly for the part. If you want to have a strong character, for example, like in Resident Evil, like she's not my favorite actress, but that Rodriguez chick, Michelle Rodriguez, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know how she's in Resident Evils and stuff.
Yep.
And all right, yeah, they're giving her a very
and all those,
they're giving her a very manly part, but at least she plays it well, and I get it. You know, I'm not going to hate on that.
I used to not like her, and actually, I still don't like her in certain movies.
Right.
But, I have learned to like her, her acting, I guess.
Right. So yeah, so I can appreciate that, and I have no problem with that at all.
Right.
It's just, hey, maybe I don't like it that much, but it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing their part. But when they make it intentionally all girls, it's just BS. It's just paying fan service, trying to, it's just so dumb.
Pulls you away from it.
If
you're gonna open up a McDonald's, you got to sell a Big Mac. You know.
Yeah, right. You can't just sell salads.
Sandwiches and stuff.
But, all right. Anyways, so back to Fright Night. Fright Night, another classic. We should talk about that again sometime because Fright Night was an amazing movie. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably haven't watched it in a while, but like the geeky little sidekick he has, which he eventually gets bit. Like his voice is so grating and annoying, but when he becomes a vampire, it actually works for him. And I don't know. That's really funny. Like, and the vampire hunter in it, and who's just a fake guy on TV. But they're like, oh, he'll help us.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It's kind of corny and goofy. But again, that's another one where there was no Count Dracula. He would just happen to be a vampire. Yeah. You know, his name was like Greg or something. You know, it's like he just happened to move in. And
yeah, I'm not big on Dracula movies. I mean, I kind of feel like once you've seen one, I like that. It's great, but I kind of lose interest in like seeing more than multiple Dracula movies in the same year, in the same Halloween season. I'm like, okay, no, but vampire movies are different because they can be scary, they can be funny. There's a lot of ways you can go.
Oh yeah, you can go. Movies. Yeah, like Monster Squad. You can make it more kiddie. Like that's a great movie. It had vampire was the Dracula in that one, unfortunately, but he was like the main bad guy. And I get it, but at least
well, like Lost Boys, that was one way of doing it, and then there you have like. From Dusk Till Dawn, where they're like,
oh yeah,
that
was good.
Totally different take on.
I forgot about that one. That's a great one.
Shout out to Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, and Quentin Tarantino. That was like that obviously had a star-studded cast.
Yeah, Clooney.
Salma Hayek.
So, a lot of big bangers in there.
What were some other fun vampire movies?
So I was just going to bring that up. So me and Caleb just saw one a couple months ago before the whole Halloween thing. Renfield.
Oh yeah.
That was with Nicolas Cage as
man.
a vamp. Was he Dracula in that, or was he a vampire?
I don't think he was not Dracula.
I think it might have been because Renfield is always the name.
Renfield is like
always the caretaker of Dracula.
The caretaker, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he might have been Dracula.
Business. I think I avoid Dracula. Kind of like going too far into it. So I don't know, but
so I think he was Dracula. But anyways, they played a different. That one is more centered on his caretaker Renfield.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
and no, it's good. Like obviously he falls in love and
I think that was a really funny one. And obviously Nicolas Cage plays a funny.
Oh yeah, he was goofy, but he also played it really well.
He did.
Like
he did really well.
He looked scary in part.
He did.
Like he played it well. Like I think you should see that one. It's a good one.
I remember you telling me it wasn't that great. I was asking you about it, and you're like,
I mean, is it the best movie ever?
No, I wouldn't say
it's no Lost
a
Boys.
Great movie, but I think it's worth watching. It's
going to be like a
time to watch.
3.2 or something for me. Right around there.
Agree.
Yeah, it's good enough to see for sure. It's definitely
it's a modern time, so it's kind of a funny take on he's like in a city, you know, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's funny.
Yeah,
that's just it. Good. I mean, it's a different take than what you're used to. He's not in some castle. It's not some like, you know,
he's like in a
typical setting of like a Dracula movie.
Speaking of funny, favorite vampire movie for me, What We Do in the Shadows.
That is such a one. That's one of the best comedy vampire movies.
So ever. Good.
Oh, so good. That may be the best comedy vampire movie ever.
Better than Dracula Dead and Loving It, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
It's so good. It's like really Jersey Shore meets Dracula.
Yeah. Now, did you like the show or the movie better?
Both. Oh, better.
Yeah, I like the movie better than the show. I watched both. I think I like the movie better.
I'm a huge fan of that Jermaine Clement guy.
Yeah.
The main character. He wasn't in the show, but the show was great too. I mean, the characters were all really funny and the accents and stuff. They're fun. It's the same kind of.
It's so funny.
Same kind of stuff, but I really like that character. So,
I was shocked by that movie. I thought when I started with the movie, I saw that. I thought I was not expecting it to be this good.
Yeah, really I saw the movie. I didn't think it was bad by any means.
Oh my god!
Here's my no.
Here we go.
Maybe it's because so many people sung its praises so highly.
Maybe it's who you saw it with.
It could be that too.
Yeah,
it could be.
Makes a difference.
It's my.
By yourself?
No, I think it's my ex.
Oh, see, there you go.
It brings back bad memories.
Speaking of dead and loving it.
Yeah, right. No, so I saw it and I liked it. I thought it was funny, you know, but maybe I expected the humor to be different. And I wasn't in the mindset. I was more thinking it's going to be more slapstick or something. And it definitely wasn't. It's more of like English humor, where it's like situational humor. You know, like they didn't say jokes and stuff. It's just the situations that were the funny, you know, like the show, I think the movie was pretty good, but I haven't watched it in a long time. The show just didn't pull me in. Like, there's some funny parts.
Right.
Maybe I just not have the right setting.
That's how I felt about the show.
But like,
there were funny parts, but overall, it just didn't.
Yeah, like the part where the guy's talking about how he's an energy vampire and it's just like sucking the energy out of the room and stuff.
Hilarious.
Like, that's funny. It is funny, but
it's like The Office.
But it's so the humor is just so bland because he's just like, then it cuts to him just like talking, you know, like, and then I was doing it, obviously sucking the energy out of the guy, and it's just like falling asleep.
Yeah,
and it's funny. It's just one of those. It is all right.
Now, what about the movie, the John Carpenter movie, Vampires? Do you remember that one where they're hunting? They're like vampire hunters.
I don't think so.
It has the guy. What's his name?
I haven't seen that in years.
James Woods from. Do you remember in Scary Movie the guy who did like The Exorcist? No, this is the Scary Movie, the joke movie, right? But the Exorcist scene where he played the priest. Do you remember him? That guy?
Yeah, vaguely, yes. I know. I know who James Woods is.
Okay, yeah, and he was in the Vampires movie.
Okay,
that was a pretty good vampire movie. That's just kind of like, because I like the type that's, you know, the vampire hunters or something like that, where it's not really kind of a dark setting. It's more of just a fun, you know, but not stupid. There's a you know,
right.
It can go either way there. Yeah,
like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, that's a good.
Buffy. Buffy came out as a result of The Lost Boys. It's like because it's around 92, and there's a different take they took on it, but the same thing where there was no Count Dracula. It was just vampires.
And then the TV show actually launched that whole thing.
Oh man,
the movie sucked in like critics' eyes, but the TV show.
No,
like,
Buffy
Buffy had what's her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar, right?
That was the show.
That's her. No, that's the show. Who's the main chick? The original Buffy.
I don't know her name, but she was another fantastic choice of character for
Is
that
that
movie.
it? Wasn't Alicia Silverstone? Who was it?
Christina Applegate.
No, was it? Was it?
No, I don't think so.
No, what did you?
I
What's your
almost
question?
wanna-
What did you ask?
Who was the original Buffy?
Alicia Silverstone.
Are you talking
Was
about
it?
from the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh, it's none of those. It's not even a big. She's
I
not
was
that
closer.
big.
Come on.
All right. Now
No,
film.
but
I gotta know.
Yeah, I thought she was hot. Why do they always have these hot girls in vampire movies? Anyway, she was pretty hot. Yeah, you got her there.
Yeah. Christy Swanson.
Yep.
Applegate,
that's her.
Swanson.
I mean, yeah, you were close actually.
Samsonite.
I was
It's
so
close.
close.
It's so close.
Dumb and Dumber.
But that one had Pee Wee Herman,
Oh yeah. Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
Rest his
I
soul.
didn't.
He
So
played kind
I
of a
didn't
fun
know.
vampire in that.
I didn't know that was Paul Rubens until like after he died. And I seen all the things, and someone was like, "Oh, he's in Buffy," and I was like, "They're like, oh, he had one of the best death scenes of all time."
That slow
I was,
death scene.
I was like,
yeah.
"What? But that was him?" Sure enough, yeah, it was Paul
Yeah.
Rubens,
Well,
Pee Wee
so-
himself.
The main vampire in that movie, the main, I guess the final boss, whatever you want
The
to call
final
him.
I don't
I didn't
remember.
like him. He was creepy.
I don't remember who it was.
almost
I don't
felt
remember
like
the
he
end
was,
of it.
He was so
either.
like kind of older, and he was like super creepy with the main actress. I don't know, man. He creeped me out. I didn't like him. He actually, as far as casting goes, I didn't like that guy.
Here's an oddball question: has Tim Curry ever played a vampire?
Is that the basketball player? I'm just
Steph
kidding.
Curry.
I think it's Tim Hardaway
I'm kidding.
or Steph Curry.
No, but he played the devil.
In what? Oh,
Legend.
Legend. Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he played a horror character. Well, who was he in Rocky Horror Picture Show? Was he a vampire in that? Wasn't he in that? Or am I crazy?
He was the main character, right?
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry.
Wilderness
yeah.
Girls.
Oh, yeah. That,
Wilderness
of course.
Girls.
Oh, of course.
Come on.
That guy's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
I have a picture of him being a vampire in my head.
I can picture that too, yeah.
He
Drop in
must
the
have been.
comments, guys.
I wonder if it was.
Yeah, vampire movie.
yeah.
I wonder if it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. No, that was that drag
No,
drag
no.
character, right?
Was
that
that
wasn't.
Yeah, he was the main character in
yeah,
that. Yeah, that's not that.
All right. Well,
No, I think you're right. I could see him as a vampire.
he's definitely been a vampire for sure, no doubt. You
Yeah.
can check. I mean, you don't even check. You don't need to leave it in the comments. We already know.
Now, what about Interview with the Vampire?
Classic.
I
That
actually
was-
wanted to watch that, and I just ran out of time.
I think that's actually one of the few movies I like Kirsten Dunst in.
Really?
After that, I think she just kind of.
Dropped off. What about Spider-Man?
That was probably the peak of her career. Obviously, I think that's well
I
known.
thought she's pretty good in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was fine.
The OG Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
That was a fun take on a vampire movie.
yeah, I really liked that
Interview?
one.
Yeah.
Actually, really liked it.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids when that movie came out. I think it was around 95-ish or something, 93, somewhere in there. But I remember seeing toys they made for that. And that's
Toys
to this day. Oh yeah, they made toys
of what?
like GI Joe figures, but with the vampire characters.
weird.
Oh yeah, and
Like
I'll never
Suncoast or
forget. That's how
somebody.
I was on, when we did that thing last night when I was on that tournament to see who could, all the vampire names.
Yeah.
That I knew the vampire in Interview with the Vampire's name was Lestat because I remember clearly. There's the guy's like looking at the box. He goes, "And the vampire Lestat," and it's like that toy commercial, and that just instantly just every time I think of that movie, that's the first thing. So man,
Did
their
anyone
marketing worked on me.
Did anyone else get that?
Oh, I don't know. That's
That's
a popular movie, but
Yeah.
Lestat is it's not Dracula,
Mm-mm.
it's not Ivan Dracul.
Yeah.
So-
Any other standout movies that are obviously we didn't talk about anything with like the Leslie Nielsen side of it.
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
weird,
he was.
but,
Yeah.
I
There's a
kind of wanted
lot-
to watch that
there are a
too.
lot of like other random vampire movies, but I think we nailed the classics there.
We nailed the classics, and I think we talked about a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
Maybe some crappy ones,
Yeah. Okay.
What was Van Helsing? Was that a vampire movie?
Oh,
or was that
yeah.
just-
Oh yeah, I remember I watched that in theaters, and I almost threw up because my eyes kept rolling back
What
in my
about
head.
So it doesn't count.
what
Van
about-
Helsing was
What about
garbage.
Underworld?
Oh, Underworld! I mean, that was vampires
like
and
that whole
werewolves.
series. I
That was
mean-
pretty good. That was it? Carrie? What? Underworld?
like-
What,
so
what
I
was
like-
the main chick's name?
Oh yeah.
Come on now.
Give me a
I
hint.
already came out.
Give me a hint.
Is it Carrie something or no?
No, it's not. All right, we'll keep moving, but I like the first one, and then this,
I didn't like the
kind of
second
went
one.
down. Yeah,
Yeah, the third one
and
was
then
trash.
I like that one guy who came in, and he was, I think, the head of the werewolves. When then he got like captured.
Oh,
whatever.
something Taylor, right? Was that the guy from Twilight?
Oh gosh, here we go with the Twilight crap again. Forget it. But anyway, I liked his character. I really did. And then I think he did really well. And then it kind of went down again from there. But
I don't even remember. It's all blur.
yeah,
It's all just a blur to me.
understandable. It was kind of. I mean, there were several.
I thought she was hot, and that was about
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
Beckinsale.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Did I say Kate?
No,
I
you
didn't.
say like Carrie or some crap.
Well,
Like that.
Carrie-Anne
Close
Moss.
enough.
It must be one of your exes.
It could have been. Yeah, but she's super smoking hot in it. She's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
primo.
of course.
She's got the
And then
English
that's just
accent.
that she was replaced by. So she was the main girl, and then when that one guy I was talking about came in, this different girl came in as the main character, main female character, who was also hot. I mean, there's just a lot. I feel like vampire movies they do like really good casting when it comes to making attractive.
Well, they can.
All thanks to Lost Boys.
Yep, they
I don't know, but are there any bad, like poorly casted ones?
That's
like,
a really good question.
What's a real bad vampire movie? Because I saw
Vampire movies had
there
the
were
best
so
casting.
many on like Amazon. I was just looking at the list of them, and there's so many I've never even heard of before.
Oh, of course.
They were just total crappers.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I kind of wanted to watch one, but I didn't want to waste. I had so little time to watch movies this week.
Yeah.
I didn't want to waste it watching some crapper.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of major crappers out there, especially nowadays.
Oh,
so
yeah.
many random B movie, everything. But we'll get into a lot of good Thanksgiving movies for Thanksgiving. We got to talk about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving is a movie coming out.
That's almost like, and I'm talking about that because it's kind of a scary,
So
horror
this is
movie,
probably going to
but
come
it's
out. Yeah,
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
This
We'll talk
YouTube
about
video is going to probably come out like Friday-ish, maybe Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's right at the end of October. I doubt maybe we'll sneak another one in there.
Yeah.
We have some things cooking on the back burner, but who knows if they're going to get out in time. So the next month, obviously.
We should talk about Thanksgiving a little bit right at the beginning. So we're ending off the Halloween. We're getting into Thanksgiving.
It's a nice
time.
transition.
Yeah.
It's finally, they're getting from.
And Thanksgiving too. I think is that out yet? I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Well, what's that one that's coming out?
Thanksgiving too.
No, the new movie that we just saw the preview for.
Right.
It's like is just called
It
Thanksgiving.
is Thanksgiving,
Oh,
and it's a horror movie.
And
yeah,
it's a horror movie. So, but that's not coming out until later.
We'll see that and talk about that.
Yeah, it's not coming out for another couple weeks.
Yeah,
so.
a couple weeks still.
We'll have to watch that one, get into it, and then
yeah, we'll give a
obviously
fresh review.
Yeah, and then we'll have to. I mean, we'll have to talk about Poultrygeist. It's a classic.
Poultrygeist trauma, man. That's traumas are always worth talking about.
They're always worth talking about. There's always it's like coming home.
Yep, it is.
We've talked a lot about trauma in the first few weeks.
Yep, so much to talk about.
Yeah, but we'll jump in the November thing. We'll talk about food, delicious foods, the best Thanksgiving foods.
Yeah,
because foods and movies go hand in hand. Think about this. Have you ever eaten some really crappy food or had a stomach ache and watched a movie? It just ruins it, man. It's over.
Yeah.
You can't have an upset tummy and watch a movie.
It kills the mood.
Oh, it kills everything. Kills everything.
You can't think about what's happening on the screen.
No, you're just sitting there trying to puke your guts out,
Your sex drive is down.
Everything's down, So we'll talk about good food. We'll talk about good movies and Thanksgiving and, our traditions that we have that we can't talk about right now.
Oh, definitely not.
But we all have our little traditions, if you know what I mean. But I think we'll end it there.
So be safe out there, trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, once again, we're asking for subs. The channel's growing slowly but surely. If you're seeing this in VR, hopefully I get it uploaded in time. But that's another thing we're still pushing is the old VR thing. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. For everyone else, Thanksgiving coming up. November is going to be cold. It's going to be a cold one this year. I've just talked to the forecast.
Saying,
the weatherman's telling me it's going to be
El Nino.
It's going to be El Nino is what they're saying. So anyways, we're out of here. Have a good night.